Hi, I'm Robin. I compose contemporary classical music, but today I'm going to be talking about a metal song that I rearranged for a video by the composer and YouTuber David Bruce. The song The Crystal of Elves is pretty much the first piece of music I ever wrote around 11 years ago when I was a teenager. And for this reason, it's rough around pretty much every edge that it has. That's why I thought it'd be pretty rewarding to come back to it and make something more interesting from it. In this video, I'm going to go over in some detail how I reimagined each aspect of the music. Now, let's listen to the intro section from the original version of the song. It's a very simple, repeating melody and power chord combination. Played very poorly on my starter guitar, a very pointy Jackson model. The drums are pretty badly chosen loops from GarageBand, and the bass is just achieved by putting the guitar through an octave pedal. There are already some pretty huge changes you can hear in just this intro section of the new version. I used tuplets and time signature changes to inject more life into the rhythm, and a more thoroughly composed drum and bass part bring the whole thing together more cohesively. Rather than looping power chords, I mixed up the harmony with this little progression of A minor, B flat diminished 7, C6, A7, D minor, A minor implied, and B7, before pivoting back to C major for the first verse. Now, let's hear that first verse as it originally sounded.
With a sword in his hand, far he's travelled from distant lands. Feet are weary, fingers cold, walking through the plains of old.
If you can take your mind away from the sheer sonic torture of those vocals, you'll notice that the guitar riff in the background is pretty slow and plodding, and as with the intro, only uses power chords. Here's my updated attempt at this section.
With a sword in his hand, far he travelled from distant lands. Feet are weary, fingers cold, marching through the plains of old.
I tried to remedy the plodding original with a more energetic 16th note push with palm muting and regular picking alternated to help add shape to the guitar part. I slotted in more unusual time signatures, including this 1/3 bar, which basically means it's the length of exactly 1/3 of the previous bar. Now for the pre-chorus. Here's the original version, including my best approximation of death metal backing vocals.
The plains of old. Will I find the place of the ancient elven race? And wherever I may roam, will I end the return home?
And now for the updated version.
Will I find the place of the ancient elven race? And wherever I may roam, will I ever return home?
So here, I tried to kind of amplify the epicness of the music with a pounding drum part, a more active bass line, and some pretty insane shredding in the guitar. I have another mess around with the chords, here using a B flat minor, G7, F sharp, rather than the more stodgy power chords. The next verse in the original was much the same as the first, so I won't bother playing you that, but for the new version I wanted to really mix things up and explore some new stylistic territory. I went for a progressive groove metal or djent style, utilising the lowest notes of the 8-string guitars.
Now he comes to the city gates. 30 days and nights he waits for the city to awake, and the crystal that he must take.
I interspersed some quite complex rhythms with a little quarter tone chord progression. E quarter flat augmented, C minor, D quarter sharp 7, D major 7. Leading into the chorus, I use this gradually speeding up scale figure of triplets, sixteenths, quintuplets, sixteenths, which, oh my god, if there's one thing contemporary classical composers love writing, it's exactly this figure. Let's hear the chorus in its first incarnation.
Under the ancient sky where sacred dragons fly, searching for the sacred city of elves. There I am wandering, silently pondering, when will my long journey come to an end?
Wow, even more power chords. Here's the new version.
Under the ancient sky where noble dragons fly, searching for the sacred city of elves. There I am wandering, silently pondering, when will my long journey come to an end?
In the new version, I imagine the first half of the chorus as a point of pause before the anthemic ending, reducing the texture at first to single notes in the guitars and bass. There are more quarter tones, this time used more as points along a line rather than as specific quarter tone chords, and there's more tuplets, this time including a pretty hairy nested triplet inside a quintuplet. For the big finale, I throw in some really fast sweep picking for the lead guitar, another crazy time signature, and a final new chord progression to change things up and send the ending home. A, F, G minor, G, A sus4, and A. So there you have it. I hope that explains some of my thought processes when it came to reimagining this rather silly old song. It was a really rewarding experience doing this. I would highly recommend it to any other music creators to go back and look at the earliest work they ever did, as you can learn a lot by revisiting those old pieces and seeing how they relate to what you do now.